Congratulations. Yesterday you rented happiness. And today, your body has sent you the bill with interest rates that would make any debt collector seem like a nice guy. Your head is the set of a torture film, and your body is an inflamed, dehydrated machine that your own immune system is trying to finish off like a beaten horse. You thought that was a party? No. That was a rehearsal for your own decomposition. The battle for electrolytes has been lost, your brain has physically shrunk, and your liver is drowning in vinegar. We're not here to moralize. We're just going to break down your agony into 33 undeniable facts. So let's get started. The autopsy will reveal the rest. Myth number 1. A hangover is just dehydration. Drink some water and it will all go away. Sounds logical, right? As if your body is just a dried-up potted plant. Water it and it blooms again. How naive. In reality, your body turns into a war zone. Your own immune system goes haywire. It sees the byproducts of alcohol breakdown and panics. To your immune system, this is a foreign invasion, a full-blown viral attack, and it launches the scorched earth protocol. Cytokines, the same molecules that fight the flu, flood your bloodstream. They attack everything in sight. That's why your joints ache, why you have chills, why you feel weak. Your body isn't just thirsty. It's fighting a civil war against itself. It's as if your home security system decided the homeowner was a burglar and set the dogs on you. Congratulations. You paid money to have your personal army stage a military coup against you. Myth number 2. All alcohol is the same. Alcohol is alcohol. Seriously? Do you really think that a noble bourbon from an oak barrel and sterile vodka from a distillation column are the same thing? That's like comparing a meal at a Michelin-starred restaurant to food from a dumpster. Except in this case, the restaurant food is more toxic. Dark liquors contain congeners. These are the byproducts of fermentation. Aromatic oils, aldehydes, esters. Sounds fancy, like a perfume ad. In reality, it's chemical waste. Bourbon has 37 times more of these impurities than vodka. 37 times. It's not just a drink. It's a cocktail of ethanol in the periodic table. You drink to the richness of flavor, but you're actually getting a dose of industrial waste. Marketers sold us the idea of a complex bouquet, but it's a bouquet of toxins, not flowers. Good luck to your body trying to tell the difference. Myth number 3. Hangovers are for weaklings. Real men don't suffer. Oh, this is my favorite gender stereotype. It was invented by people who have never seen a woman after an office party. The science here is ruthless. The female body suffers from alcohol far more severely. And there are 2 solid reasons for this. First, water. The percentage of water in a woman's body is lower. Alcohol dissolves in a smaller volume of liquid. The concentration of poison in the blood becomes higher with the same dose. It's pure physics, nothing personal. Second, enzymes. The main fighter against alcohol in our liver is alcohol dehydrogenase. In women, this enzyme is less active. Their liver works at a slower pace. A man's body is an industrial waste disposal plant. A woman's is a craft workshop that can't handle the volume. So all this bravado about the weaker sex is nonsense. In the battle against hangovers, women are fighting in the heavyweight division. Myth number 4. The best cure for a hangover is more alcohol. The hair of the dog. This piece of folk wisdom is the most dangerous misconception in human history. It's like trying to put out a fire with gasoline. Yes, you'll feel better for a short time. Why? Because a new dose of alcohol is an anesthetic. It tricks your receptors. The brain, which was just screaming in pain, gets a new dose of painkiller. But the problem hasn't gone away. It's just lying in wait. Your liver, which worked tirelessly all night trying to process yesterday's poison, suddenly gets a new shipment. It's in shock. It's as if a marathon runner who just crossed the finish line gets a kick in the rear and is told to run another 26 miles. Hair of the dog doesn't cure you. It just postpones the execution. Your hangover will come back, and it will bring friends. You're just taking out a loan on your suffering at monstrous interest rates. Myth number 5. Your head hurts from the pressure. The blood vessels just expanded. That's too simple an explanation for such exquisite suffering. The truth is far more anatomical and disgusting. Alcohol is a powerful diuretic. It makes you lose water at a catastrophic rate. But it's not just your body that gets dehydrated. Your brain gets dehydrated. Literally. The brain is 80% water. When it loses fluid, it shrinks. It shrivels up like an old piece of fruit. But the skull isn't made of rubber. It doesn't change its size. The membranes between the shrunken brain and the skull get stretched. These are thin films riddled with nerve endings. And it's this tension that causes that hellish, throbbing pain. Your head doesn't hurt from pressure. It hurts because your brain has physically shriveled. You can feel it pulling on the strings of your nerves. Like something out of a David Cronenberg horror film. Only you're the star. Myth number 6. A morning cigarette helps you get back on your feet. Coffee and a cigarette. The breakfast of champions. Champions of self-destruction, maybe. Let's break down this ritual. Alcohol has already caused oxygen deprivation in the brain. The cells are suffocating. And what do? We add nicotine. And nicotine constricts blood vessels. It cuts off the oxygen supply to the brain even more. This isn't just shooting yourself in the foot. It's a kill shot to the head. Alcohol and nicotine are toxic twins, like Beavis and Butthead. On their own, they're just stupid and harmful. But together, they unleash total Armageddon on your body. Smoking doubles the chances of a severe hangover. You're not just smoking. You're voluntarily putting a plastic bag over your head and trying to breathe. Good luck with that competition. Darwin is giving you a standing ovation. Myth number 7. Willpower can beat a hangover. You just have to tough it out. Sure, and you can also grow a new liver with willpower. Or convince gravity to stop working. A quarter of your reaction to alcohol is written in your genetic code. Some people have a specific gene variant that is responsible for metabolizing acetaldehyde, the main toxin. This gene makes their hangovers unbearable. For them, one shot is equivalent to biological warfare. And many Asians lack the enzyme that breaks it down at all. Their bodies simply don't know how to fight this poison. For them, alcohol is almost like cyanide. So your willpower is just a lucky genetic lottery. You're bragging about not being born with a peanut allergy. You didn't earn it. It's just blind chance. And those who suffer aren't weaklings. They were just unlucky with their factory settings. Myth number 8. As I've gotten older, I've learned how to drink. My hangovers have gotten easier. What sweet self-deception. It's like the story of Peter Pan, who never wanted to grow up. In reality, the exact opposite is true. With age, hangovers only get worse. Your liver ages with you. It wears out. After the age of 35, it starts to lose its ability to produce antioxidants quickly, specifically glutathione. This is our body's main detoxifier. In your youth, you had a whole warehouse of this stuff. Your liver worked like a clock. But with age, the warehouse empties. Production declines. Your purification system becomes less efficient. The amount of alcohol that you wouldn't have even noticed at 20 will turn you into a wreck for a full day at 40. You haven't learned how to drink. You've just forgotten what it's like to wake up without pain. Your body has gone from a racing car to a rusty old pickup truck, and you keep flooring the gas. Myth number 9. Cocktails are light and safe. They're basically just juice. Yes, juice with liquid death added and disguised with sugar. Sweet cocktails are a Trojan horse for your liver. Sugar performs 2 insidious functions. First, it masks the taste of alcohol. You don't taste the booze. You think you're drinking lemonade. And you drink more. Much more. Second, sugar causes a sharp spike in insulin. This puts additional strain on the pancreas and the entire endocrine system. Your body is trying to deal with two blows at once: alcohol intoxication and a sugar coma. It's like being attacked by zombies and vampires at the same time. Your body doesn't know which to defend against first. So your sweet little mojito or piña colada isn't a light drink. It's a chemical weapon in a pretty glass with an umbrella. Myth number 10. Champagne is a drink for aristocrats. Light and festive. Of course, aristocrats are people too, and they suffer from hangovers too. And with champagne, it's faster and more intense. The bubbles are to blame. It's not just harmless carbon dioxide. It's a transportation system for alcohol. The bubbles speed up the absorption of alcohol from the stomach into the bloodstream. They essentially push it forward. The alcohol doesn't stay in the stomach. It instantly enters the small intestine, where it's absorbed at maximum speed. You get drunk faster than with regular wine. You don't even have time to realize you're already drunk. It's like getting into a regular car that suddenly accelerates to the speed of light. You're just pinned to your seat. The carbonation in any alcoholic beverage works the same way. Gin and tonic, whiskey and coke, you're not just drinking. You're using turbocharging technology for your intoxication. Myth number 11. Drunken sleep is the deepest sleep. You pass out and wake up refreshed. You're not sleeping. You're under anesthesia. Those are two completely different things. Alcohol does help you fall asleep quickly. It suppresses the central nervous system, but it destroys the architecture of your sleep. In particular, it completely shuts down the rapid eye movement, or REM, phase of sleep. And it's during the REM phase that our brain processes information, sorts memories, and recovers. Without the REM phase, sleep is just a temporary loss of consciousness. Your brain isn't resting. It's like a computer that's been unplugged in the middle of a system update. In the morning, you don't wake up rested. You wake up feeling like you've been unloading freight cars all night. Your body was knocked out, but your brain was in emergency mode. You weren't sleeping. You just missed a few hours of your life. Okay, stop. Let's take a break. Can you feel that wave of nausea? Are some unpleasant memories starting to surface? Don't rush to grab a bottle of water. We haven't even reached the halfway point of our journey into hell. This was just the warm-up, a gentle stroll across the tip of the iceberg of suffering. Now we begin our descent. Fasten your seatbelts, and remember, everything you're about to hear, you do to yourself voluntarily, and with your own money. Now let's get back to our body, or rather, what's left of it. Myth number 12. I'm angry at everyone because I didn't get enough sleep. Sounds like a convenient excuse, but the reason for your morning hatred of all living things is chemical. Alcohol flushes magnesium out of your body, and magnesium is the main brake for our nervous system. It calms it down. It reduces sensitivity. Without magnesium, your nerves turn into exposed wires carrying 1,000 volts. Any sound, any light, any movement is perceived as an electric shock. A whisper sounds like a scream. Sunlight feels like a supernova explosion. Your nervous system becomes hypersensitive. You're not just irritated. You're in a state of perpetual torture. And it's not the alarm clock's fault. It's that glass that seemed like such a good idea last night. Myth number 13. To avoid a hangover, you need to eat a good meal, especially something fatty. This advice works, but with one teeny clarification. You need the fatty food before the first drink, not after the fifth. Fat eaten on an empty stomach coats the stomach walls. It creates a film that slows down the absorption of alcohol. You're giving your liver a head start. It receives the poison in small, manageable doses. But what happens when we start greedily devouring fatty food in the middle of the party? Or even worse, in the morning? We create a catastrophe. Our liver is already overloaded with processing alcohol. It's working at its absolute limit. And then we throw another impossible task at it, digesting a ton of fat. It's like trying to put out a fire and bake a cake in the same oven at the same time. The result is a double whammy for the body. In the morning, fatty food doesn't save you. It finishes off your liver, and it turns your hangover into a gastroenterological nightmare. Myth number 14. Pickle juice is a magic cure. Our grandfathers drank it, and so should we. Our grandfathers did a lot of things, like treating illnesses with mercury. Pickle juice does help, but not in the way you think. There's no magic in it that neutralizes alcohol. Its power lies in electrolytes. Alcohol flushes not only water out of the body, but also vital salts, sodium, potassium, magnesium. The water-salt balance is disrupted. This leads to weakness, cramps, and arrhythmia. Pickle juice is essentially a natural isotonic drink. It restores electrolyte levels. It gives the body back what alcohol took from it. But it doesn't remove toxins. It doesn't fix your liver. It just helps the communication system in your body start working again. It's like replacing the batteries in a remote control. The TV works again, but the TV itself hasn't gotten any newer. And the brine from pickled cucumbers, which contains vinegar, only further irritates your already inflamed stomach. Myth number 15. Coffee in the morning will wake me up and get me back on my feet. Are you serious? Waking up a dehydrated body with another diuretic? That's a brilliant plan, just like that coyote from the cartoons who was constantly falling into his own traps. Yes, caffeine temporarily constricts the blood vessels in your brain. This might slightly alleviate the headache caused by their expansion. But at what cost? Coffee, like alcohol, removes fluid from the body. You're trying to put out a fire by pouring kerosene on it. You feel temporary relief, but in the long run, you're only making the dehydration worse. It's like taking out a loan from one bank to pay off another. The problem isn't solved. It just gets bigger. Your energy from coffee is an illusion. It's energy borrowed from your already exhausted body. The interest on that loan will be terrifying. Myth number 16. I just feel ashamed of what I did last night. It's not shame. It's chemistry. Welcome to the world of hangxiety. When we drink, alcohol stimulates the production of GABA, the main inhibitory neurotransmitter in our brain. It calms, relaxes, and reduces anxiety. We feel like we're on top of the world. But the brain is a smart system. It tries to maintain balance. In response, it starts producing more glutamate, an excitatory neurotransmitter. While you're drinking, they balance each other out. But then you stop. The GABA level plummets, but the glutamate level remains high. Your brain goes from a state of total inhibition to a state of total excitation. The brake pedal is broken and the gas pedal is stuck to the floor. This is where the panic, irrational fear, and paranoia come from. You're not ashamed. Your brain is just going through a chemical storm. Myth number 17. The worst part is the morning. If you survive the morning, you're saved. Oh, how wrong you are. The morning is just the prelude. The real hell can begin much later. There's a phenomenon known as delayed hangover. The peak of suffering can occur 12 or even 14 hours after waking up. Why? Because alcohol metabolism is a two-step process. First, the liver converts ethanol into acetaldehyde. This is a poison tens of times more toxic than alcohol itself. It's what causes most of the symptoms. Then, in the second step, the liver converts acetaldehyde into harmless acetic acid. So, if you drank a lot, your liver might cope with the first step but get stuck on the second. The concentration of the most toxic substance in your blood will continue to rise throughout the day. In the morning, you might still feel okay, but by evening, you'll turn into a zombie. You thought you'd escaped, but the monster just gave you a little head start. Myth number 18. Expensive alcohol is high quality. You don't get a hangover from it. This is the biggest myth created by marketers, and we happily give them our money. Yes, expensive alcohol has a higher degree of purification. It has fewer fusel oils and other coarse impurities. But the main poison isn't fusel oils. The main poison is acetaldehyde, a byproduct of ethanol itself. And its quantity depends on only one factor: how much pure alcohol you've poured into yourself. It doesn't matter if you were drinking $1,000 elite whiskey or cheap vodka from a back alley. If the dose of ethanol was the same, the dose of poison in your body will be the same. Expensive alcohol isn't a guarantee of feeling good. It's a guarantee that you'll pay more for your suffering. It's like buying a business class ticket on the Titanic. The journey is more comfortable, but the result is the same. Myth number 19. You don't get a hangover from wine. It's just grapes, practically juice. Tell that to your splitting headache after a bottle of dry red. Red wine is the absolute champion when it comes to triggering headaches. And it's not just the congeners that are to blame. It contains two specific substances. The first is tyramine. It's an amino acid that causes blood vessels to spasm. The second is tannins. These are the substances that give wine its astringency. They also affect the blood vessels. And this double whammy, tyramine plus tannins, causes a severe migraine in many people. Your head doesn't hurt from the alcohol itself. It hurts from the specific chemical composition of red wine. White wine is much safer in this regard. So your image of an intellectual with a glass of Bordeaux can easily be replaced in the morning by the image of a Neanderthal with a stone axe in his head. Myth number 20. If you feel bad, you should lie down and not move. Save your energy. The logic of a turtle. Hide your head in your shell and wait for the storm to pass. Sometimes it works, but not with a hangover. Light movement can save you. Moderate physical activity, like a walk in the fresh air, speeds up your metabolism. Your liver starts working a little faster. But most importantly, you start breathing more actively. And a significant portion of toxins is expelled through the lungs. You literally breathe out your poison. In addition, some of the breakdown products are also eliminated through sweat. Dancing at a party isn't just fun. It's an instinctive attempt by the body to speed up detoxification. You're not just moving to the music, you're helping your body survive. So, if you can get up and walk. Your salvation is in motion. Just don't overdo it. We'll talk about running a marathon separately. Myth number 21. The liver just filters alcohol, like a sponge. If only it were that simple. Your liver isn't a filter, it's a chemical plant. And it has a very complex technological process. When ethanol enters the liver, it begins to process it. First, it converts it into acetaldehyde. Remember that word. It's the main villain of our story. Pure poison. A carcinogen, a mutagen. Then, if the liver is lucky and has enough resources, it converts acetaldehyde into acetic acid, basically into vinegar. And only then does the acetic acid break down into carbon dioxide and water. So, a hangover is the moment when your liver is stuck on the first stage. It has produced a ton of poison but can't neutralize it in time. Your body is literally swimming in acetaldehyde. You feel sick not because you have alcohol in you, but because you have acetaldehyde in you. A first-class hazardous poison. Myth number 22. Aspirin is the best cure for a headache. Take a pill, and you're fine. That's like trying to defuse a bomb with a sledgehammer. Your stomach is already irritated after alcohol. The mucous membrane is inflamed. It's an open wound. And what do? We throw acid into that wound. Acetylsalicylic acid, aspirin, is an aggressive substance. It eats away at the stomach walls even more. In the best-case scenario, you'll get gastritis. In the worst case, stomach bleeding. Yes, aspirin thins the blood and can relieve a headache a bit. But the price of that relief is a potential ulcer. You're trading one problem for another, much more serious one. This is a classic example of poor risk management. You're trying to save a burning shed by blowing up the whole house. Are you still conscious? Amazing. You have nerves of steel and apparently a liver to match. Most listeners at this point are already writing their wills or Googling the addresses of the nearest detox clinics. But you're hanging in there. You are a true explorer of the abyss. As a reward for your bravery, here is the juiciest and most dangerous fact. This is knowledge that could one day save your life, or at least what's left of it. Myth number 23. If not aspirin, then paracetamol. It's safe. They even give it to children. This is a fatal mistake. Remember this once and for all. Paracetamol and alcohol are incompatible. Never, under any circumstances. In combination with the remnants of ethanol in your blood, paracetamol turns into a powerful hepatotoxin. It delivers a direct knockout blow to your liver. Liver cells begin to die off en masse. This is called toxic hepatitis. And this is no joke. This is the intensive care unit. One wrong move, one harmless little pill, and you might wake up in another world. Or not wake up at all. Compared to this, aspirin is just baby powder. Myth number 24. You need to sweat it out at the gym. Beat the hangover with a workout. Are you seriously planning to give your heart a crash test? Your body is dehydrated. Your electrolyte balance is off. Your heart is already working overtime, trying to pump thickened blood through narrowed vessels. And you want to put it under the stress of an Olympic champion? The risk of arrhythmia, heart attack, or sudden cardiac arrest in this state increases tenfold. Working out with a hangover isn't about health. It's Russian roulette with one bullet in the chamber. And that bullet is a blood clot. You could be a master of sports and weightlifting. But your heart at this moment is as fragile as a crystal vase. Any careless movement could be your last. Save the records for later. Today, your only record is to survive. Myth number 25. The sauna cures everything. I'll just sweat it all out, and the toxins will be gone. Along with your life. A sauna or steam room during a hangover is one of the fastest ways to meet your ancestors. Let's recap. The body is dehydrated. The heart is working at its limit, and we put it in conditions of extreme heat. The load on the cardiovascular system becomes critical. The blood thickens even more. Blood pressure skyrockets. The heart tries to jump out of your chest. This isn't cleansing. This is the premeditated murder of your own body. Losing fluid through sweat in this state isn't detoxification. It's the final step towards collapse. Hundreds of people die from heart attacks in saunas every year for this very reason. They were trying to cure their hangover, and in the end, they were cured of life. Myth number 26. The best hangover food is something light. A salad or some broth. Your body is begging you for help. It needs building materials for recovery. And you give it a bunch of grass? It needs protein. It needs amino acids. And this is where a superhero enters the scene. A simple chicken egg. Eggs are a superfood for someone dying of a hangover. They contain cysteine. This is an amino acid that helps the liver break down that very same acetaldehyde. The main poison. By eating scrambled eggs, you're not just satisfying your hunger. You're supplying your internal army with ammunition. You're giving your liver the tools it needs to work. Broth is good, but scrambled eggs are the special forces that come to the aid of the exhausted infantry. So forget about oatmeal. Your salvation lies in an omelet. Myth number 27. You should drink sweet tea. It will give you energy. Energy for what? For further suffering? Your body doesn't just need glucose, it needs fructose. And here, the ideal drink is tomato juice. Yes, good old tomato juice. It contains not only fructose, which speeds up alcohol metabolism and helps the liver. It also has vitamins, especially vitamin C. And lycopene, a powerful antioxidant. It helps fight inflammation. Tomato juice isn't just a drink. It's an IV drip of vitamins and minerals. It simultaneously fights dehydration, restores electrolytes, and helps the liver. A glass of tomato juice in the morning is much more effective than a liter of tea. You don't like the taste? And is suffering for a whole week a pleasant taste? Myth number 28. Heart problems from alcohol are for alcoholics. I only drink on special occasions. Your heart doesn't care about the calendar. It doesn't distinguish between a birthday and a regular Friday. There is a condition called holiday heart syndrome. It's an acute disturbance of the heart rhythm, most often atrial fibrillation, that occurs in completely healthy people after a massive bout of drinking. You may have never had any heart complaints. You may have a perfect EKG. But one wild party can trigger this mechanism. The heart begins to contract chaotically. Blood stagnates in the atria. Blood clots form. And then comes a stroke. And this isn't a scare tactic. This is real clinical practice. Your festive mood could end in a hospital bed. Myth number 29. As soon as the symptoms are gone, I'm back to normal. I can drive or work. You're deceiving yourself. The physical symptoms of a hangover are just the tip of the iceberg. Your brain is still in a state of deep crisis. Cognitive abilities, memory, attention, reaction speed, are reduced by 30%. And this state lasts for at least another 24 hours after you've stopped feeling the headache. You feel fine. But your brain is working like an old computer with a full hard drive. It's lagging. Getting behind the wheel in this condition is a crime. Trying to solve important work tasks is sabotage. You are not normal. You are a functional idiot. And the scariest part is that you don't even realize it. Myth number 30. Vomiting is bad. It means I've been poisoned. Vomiting is wonderful. It's your body's best reaction. It's its last line of defense. When you drink too much and too quickly, your stomach understands that the liver can't handle such a volume of poison, and it makes the only right decision: emergency evacuation. Vomiting is a protective mechanism that tries to get rid of toxins before they are absorbed into the blood. To suppress vomiting is to force your body to absorb a lethal dose. Your stomach is smarter than you are. It's screaming, "Captain, we're sinking." And you're telling it to shut up. When you feel nauseous, don't fight it. Thank your wise body for trying to save you from your own stupidity. Myth number 31. There are magic hangover pills. Take one, and you're as good as new. Of course. And there's also the tooth fairy and honest politicians. All these hangover cures are the greatest marketing scam. What's in them? Vitamin C, succinic acid, aspirin, baking soda. This is symptomatic treatment. They might slightly relieve a headache, speed up metabolism a tiny bit, reduce acidity in the stomach, but no pill in the world can make your liver work faster than it's capable of. Nothing can instantly remove acetaldehyde from your blood. The effect of these pills is 90% placebo. You believe you'll feel better, and you do feel a little better. But it's not chemistry. It's psychology. They sold you hope in an effervescent tablet. Myth number 32. I'm cold because I'm sick. I must have caught a cold last night. You're not sick. You're just dying of hypothermia that you brought upon yourself. When you drink alcohol, the blood vessels on the surface of your skin dilate. You feel warm. You're radiating heat into the environment. You think you're getting warmer. In reality, you're cooling down rapidly. Your body temperature drops. This process continues through the night. And in the morning, when the effects of the alcohol wear off, your thermoregulation system fails. It can't react adequately to the changes. You're shivering not because it's cold in the room, but because your body can't warm itself up. You're like a reptile that's been taken out of its terrarium and into the cold. You are completely defenseless. Myth number 33. Science will soon invent a cure for hangovers. Progress never stands still. Oh yes, humanity has been dreaming of this since it invented fermentation. We want pleasure without consequences. We want to hack the system. But fundamental biochemistry is relentless. As long as alcohol breaks down into acetaldehyde, hangovers will exist. The only real cure for a hangover is time. Your liver needs time to clear the poison from your blood. And nothing can speed up this process by more than 5 or 10%. Everything else is just an attempt to make your wait a little less excruciating. So forget about a magic pill. It's not coming. The only way to guarantee you'll avoid a hangover is not to drink. But who are we kidding, right? We've picked this pathetic theater apart, bone by bone. 33 circles of hell that we've voluntarily put ourselves through with our own money. We've been duped like children. We've been sold an illness, and now they're trying to push expensive but useless crutches on us for it. The truth is, there's no way out of this labyrinth. Except for one, the most obvious one, that no one dares to take. Now you know the enemy by sight. You know its every move, its every dirty trick. If you had the courage to listen to this to the end, maybe you'll have the brains to hit the subscribe button, so that the next time someone offers you a beautiful glass, you won't see a drink. You'll see a contract written in fine print. And now add the 34th fact in the comments. The most important one. The one I kept silent about.